Well, welcome to Your Money Show. Today, the topic is going to be about money and your money and how you deal with your money. So the question for us all is, what's going on? So let's be back in a sec. Let's have a look. So yeah. So what's going on, man?
Look.
Yeah, it was. It's green, isn't
bright, it? No, bright green. Look.
All right.
No sound.
Right. Welcome to Your Money Show. This is your weekly show talking about money. Yes, you've heard it. It is about money. Question is, how are we going to deal with money, knowing that there is scarce of it, most have lots, and some has few. The question is, when you have a few, how can you take the money a long way? So today's topic, it is going to be about student loan and how you get it, ways you get it, and of course, if things go wrong, how you deal with it. So yes, it is about student loan. So speaking of loans, yes, loans again. So before I start talking about the boring numbers and data, which I'm fantastic at, let's talk about what the tips is for this week. Yes, our tips of the week is always the beginning of it. So tips for today is... So yes, it's going to be on your tips of the week. So students and parents of all students, you need to know this to prepare yourself and prepare your kids when they studying in September, October this coming year. And you know, for the next 3 years, they're going to be busy as fuck. So the question is, what the hell are going to do? So the question is this, or I will say the tips of the week is this. First is... Yes, first is what you do to survive at university. Your first tip would be, it's you need to plan ahead. Budgeting can obviously help to reach and to stretch your money further. That means, of course, you really have to think about how your money will go a long way. And this is what one student said to me. I split my student loan up into the number of weeks I was at uni, okay, and then deducted my rent from it. That gave me the amount I had to stick to it for everything else. Second, yes, we have second. Second is shop smart. What does that mean? Shop smart means encourage clever shopping to get the best deals. Here are a few examples. Buy. Yes, buy. Of course, there's lots of buy. Buy supermarket shopping as a group. That means, yes, as a group and not by yourself. All the major supermarkets deliver food on campus. Therefore, ordering food regularly as a group can save a lot of money. Make use of student discounts. Night out to course materials. Most clues have nights, well, actually most clubs have nights with student deals. So joining societies can get you discount at certain places too. So, going ahead with smart shopping and shopping more, get books second-hand. Books are expensive for courses, but there are ways of getting them cheaper. Second-hand book sales and student Facebook groups, for example, can help a long way. So yes, we've got our second tip, smart shop, shopping smartly. So what's the third one then? Yeah, students, it costs a lot of money to go on a bus, take the train. The question is, how do you save money? So to save, of course, you need to think about the following. To get on your bike, to get around locally. Cycling can save a packet compared to taking the bus. Yes, of course, get on your bike. Ask your mum, ask your dad, ask everyone else to get on your bike. And also, by getting on the bike, you no doubt will get your exercise. Yes, now, for longer journeys, that's like, let's say you're going from London to Manchester, in case you are from Manchester, or let's say you're from Birmingham, whichever one it is, try using your student rail card and coast card for big discounts. Yes, don't forget what? Yeah, that's it. What's going to be? Yeah, so yeah, rail card, please, get your rail card sorted if you are a student, because that will give you, no doubt, tons and tons of discounts. So let's move on to our fourth tip. Yep. Now, I'm not sure what you like at university. Last thing I think you're thinking is having, of course, good food. If you are thinking of good food, here are my ideas. Yes. Eating out, let's be frank, eating out regularly and ordering takeaways can leave you broke, no doubt. Believe me, I've been there. Yes, I've been there. Now, last thing I want is for you to feel so broke. So go on, ask your mom, ask your dad if he knows how to cook. Start cooking at home. The moment you cook at home, you will realize that you'll be saving tons and tons of money. So yes, what? Cook. Of course, when it comes to cooking, please, don't just simply thinking for yourself, because of course, as we know, sometimes even to cook for yourself can be quite expensive depending where you go. But, cook with friends. When you cook with friends, what you're also doing, splitting your money and also splitting what you cook at different times. So therefore, start cooking in the kitchen rather than going out, but also cook with friends so you get to share the food and also share the money. Yes, of course. We have to move on, don't we? So let's make money on the side. So that's my fifth tip. Is if you're a student, you are relying on student loan, don't think student loan is going to take you a long way. I'm afraid it just is not. So what I suggest you do is, of course, get some part-time work. Come on, you've been there, in a shop, in a cinema, or actually ask your university. University might have like a research project where you can say, look, I'm a student, I'm happy to help, please give me a job. And that will no doubt will help you a lot. So yeah, try your campus if there are any jobs, or get involved in paid university research, or join online market research panel. Again, you can earn lots of money, because as you and I know what? Money isn't going to go very far from a student loan, so you need to get lots. So that is pretty much my tips of the week. So let's move on to something more serious. So, going back to student loan, and listeners, if you are enjoying this and you want to take part, 0207 791 5170. Clearly, I want to know what you are thinking about this, as well as what I'm thinking about this. So obviously, when I think of things, I always pretty much say it on on radio. And when it comes to what your thoughts are, it's clearly I'll only find out when you dial this number 0207 791 5170. So yeah. So now, obviously, if you are following me, follow me on radio. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter, Ripon S Ray. On Twitter, Ripon S Ray, and I'll be covering those things a number of times. And of course, if you've got any questions or queries, feel free to call 0207 791 5170, or of course, call do it on Twitter if need be. Of course, I'm always here. Now, speaking of tuition fees. Now, what is tuition fees? Obviously, I talked about earlier about getting the best out of university without being broke. But, of course, when it comes to loans, what kind of loans are there? First. Tuition fees are paid directly to your university. It is, no doubt, determined by the cap of, let's say, if you're in England, 9,250 for studying in England, and 9,000 if you study in Wales, and of course in Scotland, if you're an English citizen, by the way, and not a resident of Scotland, you then pay up to 9,250. That pretty much depends upon, firstly, where you are from and also where you're studying. But Scottish student, let's say Scottish students studying in Scotland, guess what? Yeah, guess what? They pay nothing. It's the English fans and English players and English students who have to suffer, I'm afraid. Yeah, so going back to student loan. Now, there are two types of loan when it comes to students. First is, of course, the loans for fees. So that's pretty much set by university, really. And you pay to, it goes directly from the student loan company to your university. And guess what? You won't be touching the money. This money isn't really for you. It just goes straight to university, so fee is paid, so you don't have to have that headache about you paying directly. But then, of course, there is also another bit. And those who have been to uni or want to talk about uni, 0207 791 5170. Now, yeah, oh God, do you like the song? Do you like the music? Please, say it. 0207 791 5170. Okay, so now, we talked about student loan in terms of the fees, but of course, there's also maintenance loans. Now, maintenance loan is basically a loan just like fees, I suppose, but this is for you to live, and your living cost. Let's say, for example, your accommodation. Where do you get that? Do you know where you get that? Do you? I'll tell you. Yes, accommodation. If you are not living with your parents, if you're not living with your cousins, if you're not living with whoever, you need to pay for your accommodation. So what you do, you just get that student loan for maintenance, and you basically get paid, student loan for, but what they'll do though, what they'll do, they will pay based on your means. In other words, you have to provide a statement which shows your income, which shows your, I suppose, your family's income, and based on your family income, and also where you're living, I suppose. Let's say, for example, in London, London, it costs a lot. In London, it costs so much compared to, let's say, Birmingham. So then obviously you have to kind of like, they have to give you accordingly. So if you're living in London, in London, it costs more, so therefore it's more likely you'll get more. But of course, it doesn't last that much because cost of living in London is so high. So okay. So what do you do? So basically, when you study, you submitted your income, and know that if there are any money, let's say, that you owe, that has to come out of your expenses. So you need to cover it. So in other words, even if they've given you maintenance loan and you know that loan doesn't really cover your expenses for your accommodation, you have to cough it up. Yep. You have to cough it up because there is no other way. If you don't pay it, I'm afraid you can't live. You can't live in a student accommodation. You have to find another way to live. So that's kind of pretty much the nutshell when it comes to student loan and how it's worked out. But of course, in certain places, in certain places you just have to find out whether if grants are available. So grants, I mean, like, you don't have to pay back. With loans it's more like you pay interest, and since you have to pay interest, it kind of increases yearly by yearly, depending upon the rate set by Bank of England. But otherwise, yes, it is a loan that you pay, like a mortgage, I suppose, where it carries on for a very long time, such as 25 years, and then you pay. But with grant, you pay, guess what? Guess what? You pay that zero. Yep, it's zero. You pay nothing. So since you pay nothing, it's worth and it's important to check whether if you're entitled to grants. Different councils might have different schemes. Guess what? Guess what? I've heard that Tamworth Council used to, anyway, has like bursaries and grants for students who are residents in Tower Hamlets, and find out if there's anything you can get from your council. If not, that is it. If not, that is it from your council. So the question then is, of course, is what other funding or bursaries available? Now, speaking of actually funding, I mean, there is scholarship and bursaries. So let's say most universities and charities offer scholarships to students from lower income families. So obviously, lower income families is always good because obviously you're low, therefore you're not rich. So people will feel sorry for you, I suppose. But the other thing is, that's where you need to kind of really, really properly find out what the criteria is for their bursaries or scholarship. You might have to have a very good academic background. That's scary. Academic background scares me. Yeah. So good academic background. If you've got that, obviously you're sorted. Fantastic. So good luck. You will fulfill it, I suspect, in the future. So that's kind of for your scholarship. But on other occasions, you might have something else like fee waivers, which means what? What's going on? So which means these is pretty much what it says really. Fee waivers means where the amount is reduced directly by universities, they're available by themselves or as part of a package for supporting students, and it might be partly bursaries. So find out what it is. So go and check your university to see if there are fundings available. There might be fine charities out there that might help you. And of course, let's not forget some hardship. Yeah, some hardship funds might be available for students who are having difficult times. So that is basically, you have to approach individual university students. Can you do that? Yeah, university students. So that's kind of what the university criteria is, if you really are. But let's find out what other students think about student loan.
Personally, I'm biased because I thought it was great because I don't think I'll ever earn over a certain amount where you have to pay it back. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'll get the loan and it'll take like a tiny amount from like next year onwards. I think is when I start paying it back. So I graduated like the end of last year. I don't know, because I was used to the idea of it being a grant that you would qualify for it. So like I still had to fill out everything as if I needed to qualify for something. But now I know it's coming directly out of your wages or something in the future, which was quite scary really. But I feel like the worst type of immigrant because I came over from Ireland, so it was like, I'm coming over here, I'm going to take your student loan, I'm going to get my qualifications, and then as soon as Brexit happens, I'm going to go back home and change my address, but they'll probably still find me, so yeah, I'm a little nervous.
I actually don't think it's a good thing with the student loan, because
They are so young, and they're just getting themselves into debt, which is unnecessary. And obviously, they need to find work to pay these debt back. So, no, it's not a good thing.
What do you think of student loans?
I think I'd prefer it didn't exist really in an ideal world, because I don't think people, should have to pay for their education and should be encouraged to educate themselves to the highest level possible. Because I think collectively everyone would benefit from that, and also particularly in the areas of innovation, which is a key area that always needs development at the moment in our changing times, and finding more sustainable solutions. We need people with a high level of education to find those solutions for the future. So any disincentive to them educating themselves to the highest level that they're capable of is not a good idea at all.
Well, it's good to give people the opportunities to be able to go and learn and get qualifications, but the pressure of having to pay it back can be difficult, especially with studying, going to school and having to get a job. So it's good and bad.
There we are. We have heard about what members of the public think, but of course, we did love everything what they said. But, of course, we still have to think about paying student loan back. So, what's it going to be then? Let's have a look. So, yeah, paying back. A typical student from England on a 3-year course outside London might expect to pay £35,000 to £40,000 literally from now, and the way things are going, it's very likely it might go up. Yep, it might go up. Yep, it might definitely go up. Now, a graduate starts repaying their loans when they earn above a certain amount of money. Apparently, from my record, it says £25,000 or more annually. That's basically if you're studying a full-time student in London. Yeah. And 18,330 for Scottish or Northern Ireland students, apparently. Yep, they're getting a better deal. I suppose it's partly because it's cheaper to live there. And the other thing is, when you earn £25,000, you take £9. Oh, the government takes £9% out of you. Yep, 9%. Well, this is what we are. We have heard about I suppose, what student loan is all about. Once we're back after break, we are going to be talking about slightly something serious and catch up with the tweets from others. And we have something even more serious, and that is credit reference agencies. Yep, credit reference agencies. So on this occasion, let's take a break and then come back in a bit.
টাকা বন্ধ হলে অফিস কাজকর্ম বেড়ানো বিয়ে খাওয়া সব বন্ধ
না কিছুই বন্ধ হবে না কারণ সাথে সাথে রিপ্লেসমেন্ট কার্ড দিতে মোটোক্লেম ইজ দ্য বেস্ট যোগাযোগ করুন 0208364732 ওয়েবসাইট motoclaim.co.uk মোটোক্লেম ইজ দ্য বেস্ট আচ্ছা এত কার্গো সার্ভিস থাকতে আপনি কেন জেএমজিকেই বেছে নেবেন
কারণ জেএমজি কার্গো সার্ভিসে পাইনিয়র সিলেটের প্রথম কার্গো সার্ভিস যারা বিমান অ্যাপ্রুভড এবং মালামাল থাকে 100% ইন্স্যুরেন্স দিত
তাই নাকি
শুধু কি তাই নাই। জেএমজি সপ্তাহে 5টি ফ্লাইটের মাধ্যমে দেশে মালামাল পাঠায়। কাজে দ্রুত এবং উন্নত সেবার গ্যারান্টি থাকে পুরোপুরি। আর কিছু ওয়ার্ল্ড ওয়াইড কার্গো সার্ভিস, নিজস্ব প্যাকিং ব্যবস্থা, সপ্তাহে 7 দিনই খোলা।
বিশ্বস্ততা আর দক্ষতার জন্য জেএমজির খ্যাতি দিন দিন বেড়েই চলেছে।
জেএমজি কার্গো, কথায় নয় কাজে বিশ্বাসী। 8 ফোর্ডাম স্ট্রিট, লন্ডন E1, টেলিফোন 020-724-7770।
কুটুমবাড়ি বেড়াতে যাবেন?
মিষ্টি ছাড়া ভাবাই যায় না।
বাঙালি মাত্রই মিষ্টির ভক্ত।
গায়ে হলুদ, বিয়ে, বৌভাত, জন্মদিন অথবা যে কোনো দাওয়াতে অনেক রকম মিষ্টি চাই। তাজমহল সুইট সেন্টার।
আপনাদের যে কোনো অনুষ্ঠানে সুস্বাদু মিষ্টি ও কেকের জন্য আজই চলে আসুন
তাজমহল সুইট সেন্টারে। আপনাদের সন্তুষ্টি আমাদের কাম্য। তাজমহল সুইট সেন্টার,
200A রিপন রোড, পার্কিং IG11 7PR।
ফোন 020850702000
অথবা লগ ইন করুন www.tajmahalsweets.co.uk।
At Hart Jones and Allen, we use the power of the law to help hundreds of people each year to stand up for their rights. We do things differently to help people fight injustice, and we win cases every day. We'll give you honest, clear, straightforward legal advice. We're upfront too about any costs dependent on your case. You may be eligible for a no-win, no-fee arrangement. Call 0207 874 8300 for free initial advice, or visit our website at www.hja.net. We'll help you and your family stay strong and fight for what's right.
পিসিও ক্লেম মিনিক্যাব ড্রাইভারের বিপদের বন্ধু। গাড়ি অ্যাক্সিডেন্ট করিয়া জবলেস হওয়ার দিন শেষ। জাস্ট ওয়ান ফোন কলে পিসিও ক্লেমস আপনারা দিতে পারে 24 আওয়ার্স রিকভারি, ইমিডিয়েট রিপ্লেসমেন্ট কার্ড, স্টোরেজ অ্যান্ড রিপেয়ার সার্ভিস। 020-7791-7799।
আপনি শুনছেন বেতার বাংলা 2-3 প্রবাসী বাঙালির একমাত্র বন্ধু।
Yep, here I am. I am back on Betar Bangla talking to students and their parents about student loan. So, but of course, there's always other things to think about, no doubt. But before we do that, let's be honest about it. People do have views. We've heard what the members of the public think, but we have also tweets. Yeah, tweets from Angela Taylor. Angela Taylor from Hackney said, "Oh, I took out a student loan in the late 1990s. I had an accident. Since then, I was unable to afford to pay my loan. I'm now on pension credit. I've been chased by debt collectors. Without support from a debt advice agency, I would have not been able to write off my debt." Fantastic, Angela. Thanks for sharing your stats. Taslima Begum, "I will pay my debts off once I get a good job. I don't mind getting a loan." Yeah, of course, we also have Nick Webster. Yep, Nick Webster, if you're hearing, you know it's you. He said what? "I'm bothered. I'm not bothered about going to university, let alone getting a student loan. I don't think it's worth getting into debt. So, says Nick. Okay, so we have heard what members of the public think on tweets, Twitter, also on the streets of London, because we have went all the way throughout London to find out the views of our Londoners. But of course, it's time to move on to our different topics. And the topic this time, guess what? It's gonna be child support agency. So slightly more serious. Yeah, there we are. It's about what? There we go. It's about child maintenance. So the question for us is, what is child maintenance? How does it work? When does it trigger? And what happens when you don't pay? Yep. So yeah, it is going to be about child maintenance. And those who are parents or have been parents, this is a topic for you. And if you want to talk to me about it, 0207 791 5170. Let me repeat in case you didn't hear it. 0207 791 5170. There we are. So yes, so the question is, what is child maintenance? So, oh god, yeah, I'm going to be carried away with music, I think. But hey, so yeah, child maintenance is basically when you separate. Separate from whom? Separate from your loved one. So let's say, for example, you're married together for so long, 5 years, 10 years, 6 years, but you know, it just did not work out. Yeah, so when the relationship breaks down, I'm afraid, we know we can be bitter. We can't stand the sight of each other. So what do? I know, I'm being serious, but hey, what can we do? We argue about children. Let's be frank about it. If you've got money, we fight over money. If you've got kids, you fight over your kids, and that's the reality of separation of minds and hearts. So yeah, so when such separation happens, what do you do when it comes to children, and who pays what, if need be? Yeah, so when, let's say, you have separated, and of course, a child stays with one parent, and the other parent does not have access to a child, or partial access, so what you do, you can set up an informal arrangement to pay towards the well-being of the child, and that is called family-based arrangement. If you've been in this situation, 0207 791 5170, because I want to hear what your views are. Child maintenance and money to pay. Have you paid? Are you struggling to pay? Give me a call. 0207 791 5170. So yeah, so child maintenance, it's really for the upkeep of your child. You can actually pay it informally without child maintenance service getting involved, which is basically a public body, or informally you can set things up. So yeah, so that's kind of what it is. You can, if there's an amicable separation, then obviously it's great, and you can amicably, informally set up a way to pay towards the contribution, which is fair. But of course, if that doesn't happen, if that means family-based arrangement informally doesn't happen, then I'm afraid that's when child maintenance service gets involved. Yeah, that's when child maintenance service gets involved, and of course, there might be issues about whether it's your child. Yeah, of course, we can argue that's my baby or that's not my baby. I'm not here to be moralistic, but I'm afraid it does happen. That's why courts are there. That's why tribunals are there. So you can argue with the child's maintenance service about it, actually. So yeah, child maintenance service is there to do the following. Try to find the other parent if you don't know where they live, to support child maintenance, and sort out disagreements about a parentage. You might be asking about parentage and what it means. Yeah, I can talk about it. It just means basically whether you are the dad or mom, and I know it's a bit embarrassing, and you may not want to talk about it. I'm afraid that's the real world we live in. So if it's not your child and you want to argue about it and you want to talk about evidence, child maintenance service can deal with that debate and dispute. That's what it's all about. Or if there is no proof, and you can take DNA test or the court and ask child maintenance service can actually ask the courts to make a decision on this if both of you are not gonna cooperate. But when child maintenance service is involved, the question is who applies and why and how. So yeah, to of course apply, you just have to contact child maintenance, and you can do that by 0800 0835 130. Yeah, of course, if you speak Welsh, there's also a Welsh line 0800 408 0308. if you want that option. So that's what it is. So you can start calling there to talk about ways to actually deal with it. But of course, I'm afraid since you are applying for child maintenance, if you apply to the child maintenance service, you need to give information about you and your family. If you're not sure about what information it is, just give them a call and they will help you. And the number I just told you is 0800 03 0835 130. And if you apply, of course, there's also a fee. Yeah, there's also a fee. Yeah, so it's also money, isn't it? It's all about money. To apply, it costs £20, and you won't have to even pay this £20 if you are. Oh God, it's like a present, isn't it? If you are a victim of domestic violence, under 19 years of age, and you live in Northern Ireland. So again, there seems to be one rule for here and one rule for Northern Ireland. So how then they use your information? So once you let them know about your payments, and sometimes to try and find the paying payment, your name, your address won't be given out to anyone unless it's ordered by the court. So basically, when you contact them, what happened to your information? Okay. And if the child maintenance service can't get the information from either parents, they might ask others, for example, i.e. a paying parent's employer, government or organisation like Job Centre, prison services, or even a bank or building society. So they do have powers to trace where you are. So how long it takes once you've made the application with child maintenance service? Most child maintenance cases are set up within a month. Sometimes this can be longer if there is a problem with contacting the paying parent. So do bear in mind it could take longer depending upon whether they can be traced. Because in the end, it's you being contacted. Now, how to pay? Now, of course, in terms of payment, it's pretty much easy, really. It could be you pay it directly to the parents, i.e. parents to parents. Pay directly from the paying parent's earning, i.e. from your salary. If you are working as an employee, don't forget, I said employee and not self-employed. Taxi drivers, if you're listening, you are not employee yet, and you're self-employed. So if there is no regular wages you're getting or pay slip, then obviously that raises a question. On a general term, self-employed, you are self-employed, you're not an employee. Or they could pay by direct debit. The service managing your case can set this up. So in other words, you're just paying it really because you want to pay, because you care about your child. So that's kind of, in a sense, is what child management agencies are all about. But of course, we also need to know other things. The question is what? The question is this. Is non-payment. So what happens when you don't pay? Don't panic though. Well, this is what happens. When a payment is missed, the service you're using will contact the paying parent to first find out why they haven't paid. Second, arrange for them to pay what they owe. Warn them about action that might be taken if you don't pay. Yes, if you don't pay. Now, of course, since the child maintenance service is taking the action, they will also may think about taking you to court. Then, of course, you will be incurring more cost. Liability order, £300. Lump sum deduction order, £200. Regular deduction order, £50. Yes, yes, more money. So, yeah, so there we are. We have more money. But of course, if you don't pay even then, I'm afraid, yeah, if you don't even pay then, one thing for sure, they can even put you in prison. As only if you're refusing to pay. It's one of those things, I'm afraid, there's nothing you can do. Yep, so let's now move on to another topic, and that is, of course, credit reference agencies. Yep, we are back now. This time it's not about child maintenance, but of course, before we move away from child maintenance, I do have a couple of more tweets from my listeners. One is from Abraham from Walthamstow. He says, I take my responsibility very seriously to look after my child. My wife would not want me to see my kids at all. She, however, does not mind getting my money. Oh, thank you for that, Abraham. Now we have from Jason Donovan from Australia. After separating from my wife, having been with her for 20 years, I was the one who was left with nothing. Where is Fathers for Justice? He says, by the way, not I don't, he says it. Yeah. Now I've got Catherine from Woolwich. She goes, I had to leave my work, give up my livelihood to look after my family and children. When I separated from my husband, I had to start from nothing. I also have to look after my 3 kids. I was not even there to help in any way whatsoever. He did a runner. How could you? Yep, so there we go. This is our tweet. So, okay, so now let's move on to our credit reference agencies. Yep, so we've got now credit reference agencies. So the question is, what are credit reference agencies? What information do they provide you with? And of course, to give you a living example, I've got my own credit report to show you, so at least you can see how that works. Okay, yep, how that works. So now, in UK, there are 3 credit reference agencies: Experian, Equifax, and Core Credit. Now, what they do is create and keep hold of your credit reports. And by the way, they are companies. And financial institutions like banks and others, they will check your report in either of those 3 reference agencies before they accept your application, let's say for a loan, or a credit card, or a phone contract. So why do they have different credit scores? Believe me, my report shows that I've got 500 something score. That's meant to be the highest score I have seen so far, and that's with, I think, Equifax, but we'll talk more about it later. Yeah, so really, in the end, credit reference agencies are there to provide accurate information about you and your credit worthiness. Because in the end, when you apply for a loan or credit card, all institutions, either small or big, will subscribe to either of the 3 credit reference agencies or all 3, and then they will decide whether to loan you based upon your rating. Yep, so if you want to find out about how to check your report, now out of 3, I can give you exactly how you can do that. Now with Equifax, it's really free, and it always will be if you go through ClearScore. So Google online, ClearScore, you'll get a free report. And of course, after, I'm afraid, there's always a catch, after 30 days trial, 30 days, they will charge you $7.95 per month for the service. Yep, it's Equifax. So before it runs out within a month, you better cancel it. With Experian, again, you can get hold of a free credit score. You can sign up and see your credit score, but you won't have access to your full report. So if you want to get a full report, I'm afraid you can't do that directly through Experian. But if you're a member of, let's say, so MSC, I suppose, Money Saving Experts Credit Club, you can get your Experian score and report for free. Now with Core Credit, actually, this is how I got my report. With Core Credit, you can actually get it for free. And to do that, you could go on Noddle, Noddle, its main site, and it will guide you through the process to get hold of your report. And in fact, I've got it, and I'll talk briefly about it a bit later. So yeah, so it's worth noting that you can get a statutory copy as well, which costs £2 for Equifax, Experian, and Core Credit. If you're concerned about, your trial period coming to an end, or if you're worried about paying at all, by law, you can get a statutory a copy of each report by paying £2. And the way you do it is just by writing to them and giving your details, and and say you want a report, and this will help you to get a report. So the question is, how do they work your report out? So let me explain this to you by showing you my own report that I have collated for you. Yep, I have got it for you. Oh God, where is it? I'm still looking, I'm afraid. Oh yeah, so I've got it here somewhere, but give me 1 second. Yep, I have got it right in front of me. Yeah, so here it is. Now, when you actually go online and check your report, you will see, first thing you get on your report is this credit score. The credit score, it's marked literally something like from, 100 to 1,000 or something. But then you have ratings, in the sense of rating 1, rating 2, rating 3, rating 4, rating 5. Now, mine says rating 5. And rating 5, it says, a rating within the top band indicates that you are usually unlikely to be rejected by any creditor when you apply, and can typically take advantage of the best deals available in the market. So now, of course, when you know which credit rating you fit in, you will then know what kind of individuals you are and whether you're credit worthy. And then when you go deep into your the report, it will talk about a number of other things. It will talk about your personal information. This is where, if you see your name, whether your name is correct, my name is X, Y, and Z, your date of birth, address, and you will obviously, it's all what they call personal information. And then what you have is your financial account. In this, financial account means of course, the credit cards you have. Yep, I've got a credit card, I'm afraid. I can see it right in front of me. But it says all okay. Yeah, status history, okay. Now, if you've defaulted, it will say default. By that I mean you have not paid. Different financial institutions have different policy as to how long it takes for them to contact a credit reference agency or all the agencies to notify them that you have defaulted. Some will take about 2 months. Yep, 2 months. Others will take 6 months. So there is no one size fits all. That's how you'll find out whether you have defaulted. And then it talks about statement balance and payment amount. Okay, and again, I've been paying regularly, so therefore there is no problem with my credit reference agencies. If you have it, 0207 791 5170. But that's how it pretty much works. But finally, just to kind of round up the show, then they were talking about if you take any mortgage, then if you take any short-term loans, and then if you take, and of course, any linked address, and any notices or corrections. Oh, by the way, if there are any issues to do with information that is not correct, you have the right to let them know and tell them that that the information is correct so they can correct it. So that's kind of pretty much it for now. I mean, it looks like it's for me to say goodbye. But of course, before I go, you welcome to, or goodbye to your Money Matters, and hope to see you next week where we talk about immigration and money problems. And also we'll be talking about debt management and debt management plan. And of course, you'll get my famous tips of the week. And thank you very much.